Hi everyone, and welcome to my first playthrough of Monster Hunter World. If you've never played a Monster Hunter game, hopefully this will be a nice tutorial into how to begin and how to play the game. This is actually multiplayer online from Xbox One, and
here serves food that will give you a boost for the hunt ahead.
I've played Monster Hunter before on the 3DS. I played the 3rd edition, the 4th, and Generations. So I've got somewhat of an experience of playing Monster Hunter games before. Just cooking some fish here to give you a stat boost at the start of your hunt. It's ideal to do it before you go into here, into each of the areas, which you can do in the main hub. But you can do it at any time during this little area here as well. So you get those stat boosts and help you for taking down the monsters and things. Little chest supply box to have some extra items if you've forgotten to supply yourself. You can just grab the stuff out of there, which is nice. New part to this game, as far as I'm aware, is the tracking. The fireflies go around and basically they are your leads to help find the monster, but you can't do it unless you've got the scent of the monster, or you've got the actual level up abilities to it. So we're going to follow the scout flies, as she says, and here we go. The guy's right there. That was handy, wasn't it? So I immediately start attacking the tail, and the other guys are sort of just attacking wherever they can hit. Shout out to Only Baloney, Caraxia and Panda for giving us a hand with this quick battle we did. And we're basically fighting 2 of these guys, but we've only found one of them at the moment. So you can take both on at the same time, but it's ideal to take one at a time on certain monsters. This guy's not actually pretty weak though, so you can take him down on your own if you really need to. You get extra bonuses and things for doing it as a team, and jumping on top of the monster like that is ideal as well to help take them down and give you extra chances to attack. But I think Monster Hunter in general is just a great game to play together with friends, and I think this sort of shows it off quite well. We're literally doing all sorts of different things to this monster here, and trying to slow him down, trying to attack parts of him, and he's already like slightly weakened as he is and trying to escape. So we're now on the chase to see if we can catch up to him. So let's do that. Yeah, pick up some honey on the way, and a new part of this game, I don't know if it did in Generations, but if you collect certain materials needed for crafting certain items, you can actually auto-create them. So for instance, I picked up the honey there, and it mixed with the herb to make a mega potion. So it auto-crafts the items for you, which is something new, which I haven't experienced in previous Monster Hunters as far as I'm aware. Maybe I missed that somewhere from Generations, but quite a useful little thing, unless you're trying to collect loads of honey or something. You can turn it off if you want to and just craft your own items, so it's good to know. The great Jagus around here and the smaller Jagus, kind of easy to take down, but you get extra materials which you can use to build armour and things, so it's worth taking them down and collecting whatever you can. So here we go, we just do a few cuts on some of the monsters to get some of the materials. Got some pelts and hides there, so nice Jagus again. And yep, another cut. The others have run off and tried to chase after the next monster, because we've basically already taken the first one down. If not, I think they'll just finish them off and collect the materials. But I thought I'd just show you some of the other things you can collect from. This bone pile, for instance, you can collect different parts of bones, which can also be used for different armours, different weapons. For instance, the great sword I've got there is actually a bone sword. Here's what the guy they were taking down. It's sort of like a lizardy lion-like creature, which is kind of cool. Lots of Monster Hunter actual animals are based on real-life monsters, but they like to mix things together. One of my favourites is the Tigrex, which is basically a tiger T-Rex guy, but he has an electric ability. I'm not sure if he's in this game yet, so I haven't got that far. So hopefully we'll find out in the future whether Tigrex is in there. But he's pretty cool. I know Rathalos is in there, which is a tough monster to take down. Just something kind of used to this is using the slinger. The slinger is basically you get your own weapon to use as a throwing weapon, as like I can literally sling items out, and you can collect them as you go through. There's different ones here. General, the ones just like stones, you can throw it to distract monsters or away from things, and it can be useful to distract them, then jump on them to get that double attack boost at the start of each monster attack. When the monster's sleeping as well, you also get that damage boost as well. So if you use your critical hits on those at those times, it can be really useful to take the monster down pretty quickly. Cool. Talking in this between people, which is kind of different for me because you didn't get a lot of that in the 3DS versions. It was quite cut down. It's quite text heavy as well in some places of some of the previous Monster Hunters, which it can be beneficial, but sometimes a little bit frustrating. But I think the way this sort of is displayed is a lot easier to view as well, especially that it gives you the top right. It gives you like the action commands of what you can use for each action you're doing. It also explains how to use your weapons and things. If you're quite new to the game's franchise, it's very useful. But also the controls are quite finicky on Monster Hunter. The way they're sort of set up, the Y button is actually like an attack button, so it's very weird to use. And like A is normally like your action jumping button, I think. But it's mainly a mixture of using the Y and the B button as your like strong and weaker attacks. And you can do combos and things with different weapons. Oh yeah, here I capture a frog. Because if you capture animals in the area, you can actually keep them as pets in your little hub, your little room in your hub area. So I tried it to get this sort of the bat thing, but I don't think you can actually catch it like this. So I'm going to try and find out if there's a different way to catch the bats. So unfortunately no, but maybe next time. Just a quick note, there won't be any audio from the guys on the microphone, even though it does say they're talking in the left hand side. Next time, because I've now figured out how from the Xbox to record audio from microphones as well, hopefully I'll be able to try to record some in the future, and we'll do some other hunts and things and see how far we can go. So like I said, there's more materials and things you can collect on the way. There's iron's quite a key one for around here. Collecting iron is useful for mainly for armor upgrades and things. So always useful to go to the mining pits and collect as much as you can. They're telling me to remove the capture net here because it's still on my slinger slot at the moment. But here's where the little items come up in the bottom right corner. You have to hold the LB button on the Xbox controller, and you can scroll left and right with the X button and A button. Here's one of the other monsters which we found, which was actually dead, which was kind of weird. But you can still cut things off of these monsters. Because of the tracking used there on the footprints and things, it led me to that monster and another extra items and things to find. So, but every time you find a tracking part, you get a level experience in tracking. So you got more chance of finding monsters quicker in the next time you go to hunt that specific monster. That's just one of the smaller minor monsters that you can get meat off of to cook on a barbecue and things like that. Quite useful for your stamina. You can increase your stamina skills, or you can increase your stamina bar on its own for a temporary periods kind of thing. Kind of useful. Basically, you just want to collect everything. And here's the next guy. Here's the next Jagas, Great Jagas. And I do like these guys. They do look really cool in terms of the actual design, and they get really massive. It's sort of like a frog, lizard, lion sort of thing. It's kind of a mixture of all things here. But I don't know what this whole massive, there you go, massive stomach like that is all about. Really weird. It's kind of like a bullfrog, I guess. He does spit poison as well, so be careful with poison. If you do get poisoned, you want to use antidote to heal yourself down and get rid of poison effects. Poison effect, like you would think, takes your health down slowly, just like Pokemon and things like that. So I'm the only one who found this monster. I'm about to tell the other guys, come here, and only appears to come and give us a hand attacking him. So it's kind of a good tactical sort of game that you, if you're all spread out to try and find a monster. I think there's 12 different areas you can explore on each map, and you can sort of direct each other by the number of where you are, You can also look at the maps on the select button as well. Oh, I accidentally attacked Only Blimey there as well, but unfortunately we carried on. If you can attack each other and there's no actual damage done, there's no friendly fire in this game, so it's quite useful in a way. But you can use it for feature things like you can launch people off of certain weapons, or if you launch them up in the air kind of thing. I'm not sure if that is possible in this game. It was possible in Generations, so we'll see something else we can find out. Now, I am attacking the tail here because in certain monsters you can get parts that drop off them or break off of them. And normally tails are the main parts, one of the main parts that do drop off of some monsters. And if you collect different parts of the monster, you can gain different levels of rating in the actual monster parts you can collect. So some parts are worth more than others, and they might be keys to some of the more heavier armours or things later on in the game normally. Now this guy's weakened again, so he's gone for a run, going to walk off. And no, he's gone back again. You don't know where he's going, but that is a sort of just an indication that the monster is tiring and he's taken enough damage to run away now. So yeah, I hope you're all sort of enjoying this. This is something I've not really done before in terms of commentating through one of my playthroughs, so I would like this. So hopefully this is okay. Look at him run off like a little chicken, but he's not. He's a frog lizard thing. I do like the fact that the numbers come up whenever you do attack the monster and tells you how much damage you've actually done. That's quite a good thing to show off. When you do heavier attacks, you get hundreds of damage in there, and it shows how much you've done, how much you left you to think about. But some of the early monsters are fairly weak in the thousands, whereas some of the other ones later on in the game are like in the 100,000s to millions in terms of health. So lots and lots of damage needed. This is quite an interesting part. He starts asleep, but we decided to just bomb him instead. So yeah, thanks Panda for your bombs there. Give us a hand destroying him. There's something else you can collect later on in the game and build yourself and create your own bombs, or different types of bombs, different types of weapons, different types of sling materials. We all start carving to get the monster parts again, and then you can use those again for the specific weapons and specific areas. They're really, always quite useful. God, we look so like horrible, or just like sort of attacking this monster and taking away all his materials. Oh dear, not good. I still get all around the area. You got 20, like normally when you kill a monster you get 60 seconds to collect whatever's left over around in the area. So if you can literally pick up as much as you can while you're there. Sometimes you get 60 seconds, sometimes you only get like 20 seconds, so it might not give you enough time. But just pick up what you can, and it might be useful for the next time you want to pick up something up. So cool. That was a pretty good finish, guys. So there you go, quest complete. You can do this yourself. This quest. This is one of the first DLC ones to download and play. Chew the Fat it is called. So if you do fancy it, if you complete it in less than 12 minutes 43 seconds, please let me know, and we can try and beat it ourselves and try and beat that time. Here we go. We've got some money, some research points, research level on Great Jagger, so you get extra identity where he is in each area. I think you've got more chance of getting a better monster the higher that level is as well. And here's some hunter highlights, which I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's just parts of what you did within the game as a multiplayer sort of thing. So Sling the Sniper, Only Blimey use it quite a few times. Field Research, I collected loads of materials as I was going around and things like that. So there's different medals and things to achieve as you go through the game, and I think that will sort of help out with the achievements of things as you go forward. Okay, so just a quick one back into the actual hub. So this is the area you start off in. This is the main hub where you start your actual journey. You can do quite a lot of things in here. In terms of manage your items, you've got your own little room to go into, which you can look at your pets and stuff like that. Here I'm sort of in the crafting menu to sort of see if there's any items I can craft while I'm here. There's not a lot there, but if there's something I can craft, I normally do, just to get it off the list of craftable items. So for instance here we've got the poison coating, which we can make from a toadstool and an empty vial, but I didn't make it that time, so there we go. I can't remember what I was actually doing here, so hopefully I'll just sort of be able to skip through this pretty quickly after I remember. But yeah, so they've made a few potions and a few antidotes because we can, and of course mega potions as well. So all quite useful items. You can literally, in this screen, you can literally chuck them into your item box with a little click on the right trigger, and then if you want to put it into your item pouch, you hit the left trigger. So it's quite easy to do, just using the trigger buttons just to click them into the right hand side or left hand side. And it makes it a little bit easier to work with, I think, in terms of actual manipulating the item boxes. Which always was quite an annoying thing with Monster Hunter, because you have to always sort through what you wanted,
Good to see you.
what order you want them in. It's kind of fiddly when you get loads of items and things later on. So we just started talking to a few guys around here. This guy's a researcher,
Good luck.
a biologist of all things, a smart biologist. And he just tells us about things in the wild and what you can collect. And he also helps us to cultivate items later on, so you can basically make your own items appear. For if you wanted, for instance, loads of honey to come up, you can collect honey. If you wanted loads of blue mushrooms, which is quite a useful item for making some of the craft recipes, you can get him to go, to collect those. It's just another one of creating things while you're on other hunts. So if you haven't picked up something, or you want something that's quite rare to get, it's quite a good way of getting some of the items used for the crafting items. You've got a lift here, and you can sort of go between the areas. I think we went back downstairs for some reason. No, it's really weird, this lift. It's not very far to go, but you sort of have a bit of a walk around, and you can see how beautiful this sort of world actually is. There's quite a lot to it.
Greetings.
If we go another. So there's a guy here with exclamation mark. I normally sort of talk to anyone there just in case there was something we missed. They might give you another quest or something else to do, another monster to take down. Possibly another gathering quest, which is just go into a certain area, collect as much of the materials as you can, or hunt or fight off monsters while your friends are gathering items, something like that. Here's the little food area over here. So if you wanted to get the meals beforehand, before going into the actual battles or actual monster hunts, you can do it there rather than going into the tent area and getting the food there. Sometimes a little bit easier if you're waiting for people. So anyway. That's pretty much a quick show off of Monster Hunter, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to catch you all very soon. Cheers guys, bye.